Hello guys, welcome to another video about zbrush sculpting. In this one we're going to talk about some technical workflows to create a fishnet on her leg. Okay, for now we have a clean model without a lot of things. Okay, this is actually a model that's like, I don't know, 4 years old. Yeah, it's really old. It's amazing I still have this file. Anyway, so what I'm going to do here is go ahead and grab the models, the body model of course, and then have a copy of that. Okay, and then have a solution here, and I'm gonna go grab the part that I do want to have the fishnet. Maybe I can go all the way to the bottom, I think. All right, maybe that's the part. Okay, so after that, I need to go ahead and delete the subdivision level if I do have any. I actually don't. Go ahead and do a zero measure then. All right, I'm gonna use the legacy one because I personally think it's more stable, but you know, new things are oftentimes has more feature but lesser stable. It's just the way it is. I just need the older things anyways. Whoops, forget to delete the upper body. So let me Control Shift and click on this guy and do that now. So modify topology and delete hidden to get rid of that. All right, and go ahead and do the zero measure one more time. We can go for even half just to get something a little bit lesser crowded. Okay, and we can go for the same and just zero measure a few more times just to let ZBrush think about, you know, what could be done with a simplified topology. Okay. All right. When that is over, then I have to go to Maya and rely on Maya's features to help me to get something faster. Okay. All right, let me open Maya real quick. All right, here instead of Maya, I'm gonna go ahead and create a plane here and make it just, you know, I guess one segment on every side, and go double click on the edges and do extrude edge and just scale those edges up and delete this one in the middle. Okay, and I'm gonna go grab this thing, delete history, and rotate it 45 degrees so that it's like a diamond shape now, and go to top view and take a look. Maybe a little bit smaller. All right, and do another freeze transformation. And then I'm gonna go grab the edges and then do a Control and right mouse button, edit edge ring and to edge ring and split. Do the same thing for the other edges. Okay, and then grab those 4 newly added middle edges and do a bevel here. And I'm gonna bevel it with one more segment. And then fraction can be bigger so that there are 2 edges getting pushed really close to the corner here. All right, when that is done, then I can delete history one more time and go for edit, duplicate duplicate special here. Let's reset settings. Want to duplicate with instance and then apply. And for this new one, I'm gonna holding down X and drag it over to the next grade. Do that again, and to this one, and again to this one, and again one more time to this one. Okay, so now I can grab this middle one here, and whatever I do to this one will be able to affect all the others. All right, so I'm doing this because I wanted to make a perfectly connectable or tieable geometry, and the fishnet is actually hooked up like this. You have this one goes down, right? You have this one goes up, and on the offside you have this one goes up and this one goes down. Oh, you know what? I think I actually did something. You know what? It's all good. Okay, drag this guy down. All right, go to this side. We're gonna do the same thing. So this one is gonna go up. Well, this one goes down. Cause this one goes down, so this one goes up. Okay, and the other geometry just goes for the offset. And keep on going. Let's see. This part is already done, and oh, I think they're all done. Okay, cool. Now if I go ahead and smooth preview it, you can see how they're like connected now, right? We can go ahead and grab maybe this edge loop and just shrink it a little bit. Okay, all right. And then also we can grab all the geometries and do an extrusion here, and then just drag that up so that we have the necessary thickness. We can even start editing the thickness or the distance now just to get the perfect alignment, right? So the reason we're doing all this in Maya is because Maya is really good on doing this. I don't think ZBrush can do this kind of like non-productive, non-destructive kind of like editing. So one of the downside of those are super artistic driven programs, they're limited on flexibility sometimes, but yeah. Okay. So oftentimes I just find the best software to do different things. ZBrush is not good on many things in this case. Anyway, so I'm gonna go grab this guy right now and then delete history and go ahead and export this guy. Can put it on the desktop maybe. And then call this guy, what do I call it? Fishnet maybe. Cool. Now back here to ZBrush. I can then go ahead and choose any subtool here and just import that. Which is fishnet. Okay, and then just drag it into the viewport. Oops. And hit F to fan it. Whoops. Yeah, and make it facing you this way. Turn out perspective, and then go ahead and create a insert mesh from here, and go to the same place. You go create another mesh. Okay, or you can do that over here. I think, yeah. All right, when that is done, then you can go back to this this model we're having earlier. Hover the cursor on any face and holding down space. We're gonna go for a all polygon operation for the target. Click and drag. You can see now we're basically populating that shape we created earlier in Maya. All right, but there's some problematic areas here. You can zoom in and take a look at what's going on here. You can see, well, that's not looking very good. So for the nanomesh settings, we have to go to the nanomesh settings, and then we're going to change that to fill instead of proportional. And then we can drag that up. You can see how it's actually making everyone to be the size proportionally correct to the faces. So when you zoom up or when you scale them up, you can see how they are still connected properly, right? And I don't really want a lot of rotation either, so I'm going to change that Z rotation to 0. So they're all hooked up the way I set it up in Maya, basically. All right, if everything is all well and good, we can then go back to the geometry and then convert PBR to Geo to convert that and all these things into geometry, and Control Shift and click on the model. And again, to head it, and we can do a modified topology and delete hidden. All right, and you can hit D button and say always yes, maybe. To smooth preview these things, you can see now we're having a fishnet. It's a little bit thin actually. I guess we could expand the model before we do this. Might be some steps we have to do. Let's see if we can go back before we do that. So yeah, Control D all the way back before we apply this. I think one thing we can do to make things a little bit better without trying to adjust it is go into the deformation here and say, let's expand it a little bit by using inflate. All right, and then we apply our fishnet. Don't worry about what's going on in there, because you can always go back here and tweak it. So we can say, okay, no rotation on these, and then it's going to be fill and size is going to be controlled by me, right, too. And then we are almost there, maybe a little bit smaller. All right. And again, go back to geometry and convert PBR to Geo. Control Shift and double click on the model and do a modified topology. Delete hidden and hit D button to smooth preview it. Now this time it should be mostly on the outside now of the legs, but still need to have some tweaking here. But that's just a matter of using move or whatever to get it there, right? So it shouldn't take a whole lot of time. And these guys just need to push them in, or maybe pull the pants out. I think, yeah. Anyway, so as you can see, this process is actually pretty easy to do, and you can get the model out really quickly. Now, some of you may thinking, okay, I got this model. How do I texture it eventually? Well, you can bake it as a ID map. If you have like a different color on this guy, when you're baking, you can polypen this guy to maybe a red color, and when you're baking, you can pen it based on vertex color. You can bake it based on the vertex color to generate an ID map, and that map will allow you to isolate the area you have the fishnet and texture it differently. Okay, so it's all non-destructive even when you're moving on to the texturing stage. But yeah, that's how you create a cool looking fishnet, clean and easy. Okay, a few things you can do when you're done with this is like you can maybe make it looks a bit more, interesting, is to break it up into smaller, or break it up into like a bunch of holes basically. It does have some performance issue though. Anyway, so let's say we can do a polygroup and auto group. You know what? Let's not do that. We can actually just use masking with a lasso here. If we were to say, okay, this is gonna be broken over here with something like this, you could just quickly mask that. Of course, disable the mask on the back you're getting here. Control W to give that a polygroup. Control Shift double click to reverse that, and then do a delete hidden, right? And then you can use the snake hook brush, and you can do some tweaking to make it look like it's broken over here, right? Pretty intuitive too. Give it some like broken up like shapes by dragging things out. Maybe just drag them down. This will eventually be baked into a normal map, so you don't worry too much about not being all perfect on the topology or geometry wise. Okay, now you can see that part looks like it's broken, right? It's a broken area. All right, and it's hard to see when you're far away. There is an anti-aliasing problem. You can Shift R to render it to see how it looks like now. Right? Very cool. So yeah, that's the process of creating the fishnet. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next time.